Hi there and welcome back to my world this time. Yep, my world, not the Tekkit world. And this is going to be a quick update on some of the building bits and pieces I did in here, if I can remember what I did about a week ago. And also you'll see the bow in my hand, that one. I'm going to show you a little game. Finally came up with a use for the little floating island I had in this world right from the start. So, without further ado, here we go. So most of the things I was doing centered around the horrible lag, about the theatre here. So I'll show you this way just to keep the suspense going and pan around. Oh, nice sunset. It's going to be dark. That's going to be annoying. And look, bit less of a solid block of monstrosity there now. I've tried to make it match similar sort of style to the buildings, as if it's an oldie worldy medieval beam and wattle and daub sort of structure. Okay, so on the inside's changed as well, so I've moved the entrance from this bit from halfway up the hill down to the bottom, and I've decked it out more like an actual building on the inside. Took a long time to get to the decision to do this. Initially it was going to remain a corner of this building on struts with this whole area open, and the entrance was somewhere up there with all this was hill, and I just couldn't make it work. Just didn't seem to fit right, couldn't understand how that would work as a building. This bit here is still open for expansion. I'm going to go off in this direction somewhere, see where that ends up, and this bit over here opens out into the hill as well. I'm going to see where that ends up over there. It's got two floors, at least two floors here. So there's this area and there's a little mezzanine balcony bit here. Oh, and this is now an entrance onto the stage. So I've added onto the stage these little partition areas. I started thinking that on a stage you have the area in the wings where the actors stand around and wait for their cue to come on stage, so I added that in. And I've also added a prompter. So if you forget your lines while you're on stage, you get stage fright. This little guy, yep, see he nods, is going to tell you what your lines are. It's not very talkative, but maybe it's a silent play. And there's also some crowds up there watching what you're doing. And there's also down here, this is the orchestra pit. Somebody suggested this was to be the idea, and you know who you are. These paintings on the wall I've got in mind, I'll put something custom in there that makes it look more like an orchestra pit. Don't know quite what that will be yet. At the moment we've just got a few mobs, villagers in there to act as the orchestra. They're not very musical. What I may do is put some pressure pads down there that are linked to musical notes. If I can put up with the racket that will probably create. Anyway, so there we go. I've added a bit of a barrier here, so the idea would be the audience comes down the steps and there's signs here. Oh, I could probably put on the signs sort of seating left and right there. But anyway, I've also rearranged the seats slightly in this room, laid them out slightly differently. I think it works a bit better now. And the other changes that I've done, come back to that. I use the word later a lot in the presentations I've done before, but yeah, we'll come back to that later. Okay, this bit is the secret staircase up to the lights in the theatre. So it's a dynamic staircase that you can create to get all the way up to what I picture as being the lighting rig area on here. So the reason is that these are actually the lights behind there, stage lights. So there you go. So you can now actually I can't get back up there. I haven't given myself a jump. Okay, so that's what that is. Bit of a pain having to keep putting them back. Oops, I did have in mind that there could be a way of doing this with redstone, but given the fact that there's another bit directly behind this, it doesn't really work. So I'd have to rethink the whole building if I did that. Anyway, backstage. So this was the green room. I think if you remember from seeing this before, I've done this all out in green wool. I've now added a few actors' rooms. What do you call them? Changing rooms? Dressing rooms, that's the word. So these are supposed to be stars. Anybody got any ideas how to do stars with ASCII art that's better than that? That's the best I could come up with. It looks more like a guy with his legs astride. Anyway, never mind, skip that. And then in each of the dressing rooms, we've got a chair for the actors and a dressing table and a chest for them to keep their things in. Okay, and I've done a couple of them. They're slightly different style in each one. Not drastically different, just slightly different layout. This one's a slightly bigger room. Picture in mind, this is more for the star of the show, although both of them I've given a star on the door. And this area here just sort of peters out at the moment. What I did here was just kept exploring how far into the hill this could go until it hit anything. So this is all the underside of the seating area at the moment, just so I can find out the limits of where it can go. And there's also a staircase here which comes up directly under the front door of the theatre there. I'm not quite sure what to do with that. Maybe this could become the box office area that I talked about in a previous video. So I could create this area as the box office and have that as a staircase up to the entrance into the theatre. Not quite sure. There's also this bit, which again was just a mining expedition, see where it ends up. So I took a bit of a detour down here. And then another detour down here. So it's a much different experience doing all this without no clip to be able to see in advance where you're heading. But this one crashed into the entrance that I'd already got under the hill here with the lava decorations in, which I showed on a much earlier video. So it's under the houses that are up on the hill. They're up there, up the staircase that's over here. So that's it for what's in here. The other problem with no clip is when I'm showing things off, I can't just zip back up to the outside. So you'll have to bear with me as I wander around aimlessly, retracing my steps. There you go. Okay, so we'll go down this way. So this now is slightly changed on here. So the idea would be that the stage trapdoor brings you down into this area, which is the area that you get to from the front door. So this door here, I picture being the backstage door, where the stars enter and exit, and this area would be where the stars hang out before they go to the dressing rooms upstairs. So yeah, that's the theatre done and dusted-ish. Yes. I've expanded the ladder, that's the word I'm looking for, down here. And this before we go right down there, shut the door. Oops, don't shut the door by firing arrows at it, that doesn't work. Right, this goes down a long way. Yeah, and it's got a couple of exits on it. One's here, and there's another one further down. So these were actually arrived at randomly to crash into that trapdoor area from just random tunnelings, both separately from over here in the main house. Oh yeah, that's the mushroom on fault. That's just a reminder, so if I'm around this area I'm not tempted to knock these blocks out to find out what's behind it. So yeah, this area was in the what do you call it? The bit near the bank, which is that area there, and I just decided to randomly find out where that headed and crashed into the theatre. And similarly, the lower one was a few extra doors there which weren't there before. In the Harry Potter cupboard under here, where Harry Potter slept, it's now even got a bed, look, and it looks like it's a closed area now. I've sort of masked it off so it looks like it's a small Harry Potter area. So in here he's got a chest to keep his clothes and things, but I've given him a secret exit door. So yeah, because he's magic, imagine this as a magic doorway. So this area here I've sort of mined off that way, see if I've got any space over there. I've filled in this bit here where the redstone was exposed before, and then this area here goes to the mushroom farm over here. Yep, so the mushroom farm's all up there. So I've done a little bit of work in there as well. I saw a thing that pointed out that things slide faster on ice than on rock. So the base of the mushroom farm now has ice along it. So when you actually activate it, the mushrooms come sliding down there a lot quicker. These signs are here because in doing that with the ice, lava, ice, melts, water. So they were there to just block off the water that kept flooding down here when I kept getting it wrong how close you could get. And then this bit here is the other tunnel which heads off back to the theatre over there. And this bit actually passes by the underground mine area, which goes down to the depths and the mob spawner and all that sort of stuff. All things that I still haven't really shown on any video yet. But yeah, there's loads of stuff down there that I'd done all before switching into creative mode and going a bit mad with things. So, quickest way out of here. I may do this next bit on fast forward. No, I'll skip that. Yeah, I've also did some random mining around here. And again, these bits now come out into the tunnel system. So again, down to the mob spawner and those sort of things. Now, there's a wicked ravine system here. There seems to actually be about 3 or 4 separate ravine systems that all crash into each other on this seed round here. So there's this one that's over there. There's another one that goes off at an angle over there. And then there's another one from there. When I was flying around with creative mode but without no clip, I actually got lost for must have been 20 minutes, half an hour at one stage, because I didn't want to tunnel out randomly. I wanted to find my way back, and I just kept finding system after system after system of caves and ravines that all looked very similar but were all actually different ones. So yeah, that goes around there. So I'm going to leave this way up to the house this time. So let's go back up to the house through this way. I think I've even done a little bit of tidying up of the steps around here at one point as well, but nothing notable. This area similarly, I have done some building work off there. That's something for another program where I've got the mine over there to go hunting for diamonds and things. But for this time, let's go out through a different exit this time. Don't usually come out this way, but let's come out this door here. Yes, I know I'm leaving the doors open behind me. Right, so this little floating island, I had an idea, right? Saw a thing that said that it's been added that wooden pressure plates can now respond to arrows. So what's the chances? No chance. Yeah, this might take a while. I have managed to get this a few times, but it does take quite a bit of doing. So what I thought you could do for this is, as a challenge, you can give yourself a particular number of arrows. You've got so many shots to try to hit it, and yeah, if you hit it, I'm going to cheat, fire from a different angle. Yeah, so if you hit the wooden pressure plate, it'll light up, and then of course that will stay lit for a while until the arrow's collected again. So there you go. Yeah, a little game in the game, as it were. One more go. One more go. One more go. One more go. No, I thought that was it. Anyway, there you go. That's it for now. Have fun. Enjoy life. Do what you will. Like, favourite, or not. And, oh yeah, just to note, I was having problems with pigs disappearing. That seems to have stopped. They seem to now be staying. I did have a mod installed at one point that showed you the health of mobs. And what I found is that when I come back to the pigs, they've very often got reduced health for some reason. So what I'm wondering is if something's happening to them which is harming them. Again, any ideas as to what that may be? I have come back a few times and found pork chops floating in there. So it's as if something is killing the pigs, but not the chickens. Oh, although they look at... No, that's probably about right. And not the sheep. Sheep seem to have been able to keep one of every colour without any problems at all. And the cows, similarly, I seem to be able to keep as many as I like, and they don't seem to suffer any damage. So there seems to be something odd that goes on with these. Yeah, any suggestions greatly appreciated. I'm just wondering if there is a glitch, which I've seen a few people mention, where in survival mode, when you jump off things, you can randomly take harm. And I do know that the pigs do spend quite a lot of their time jumping on and off things. So, yeah, maybe that's it. Maybe the pigs are also getting random damage when they jump on and off. Just a thought. Yeah. Anyway, that's it for now. Oh, was that an arrow I found over there? No. Okay. So that's it for now. Nothing else much going on. Yeah. See you later.